Like, okay, I think that's okay. I can live with that. You say, I can live with that,
Yeah.
and I can live with that.
Yeah.
And then you live with it for about a month. And then you're like, holy Jesus, I can't live with that.
Hey, everybody, this is Laurie Webb of Diary of a Mad Songwriter. Today I'm talking with Steve Woods about artistic depression. Steve, weren't you just telling me that you'd spend about 12 to 14 hours on something and then replace it? Tell me how that makes you feel.
I'll tell you how it makes me feel. At the end of the day, it's like this. So you go in, let's say, and there's everybody here, we all are, we're all songwriters. We got our own guitars. We go in there, we record our guitar vocal. We've got the vocal, we don't like it. We record a new vocal, we don't like it. We record another one. Third time's charm. Hey, this is a keeper, right? Yeah, listen, there's a little magic, there's a little magic, and there might be a little magic. And then you spend a first couple of passes, and then you notice things start to bother you, and then you spend in more couple passes, and you're mixing, and you realize the mix wasn't recorded right to begin with, and the mic wasn't for this. But you keep working, and you keep working, and you keep adding effects, and you do a little of this, and you tweak it, and you comp it,
And then you
and you
use the
work more,
bathroom.
and another hour, and you got to get. I've spent hours now trying to move the words around and tune this and move that and comp that, and then I wait for it. Then I'm like, okay, I think that's okay. I can live with that. You say, I can live with that,
Yeah.
and I can live with that,
Yeah.
and then you live with it for about a month. And then you're like, holy Jesus, I can't live with that. I
No.
can't do it.
No.
I'm lying to myself.
No.
I'm convinced. And
That's
then
right.
you do this magical thing called, what if I just re-sing it?
Yeah. Because you've gotten the practice of
And then you're
doing it.
done. And then and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I just fixed everything.
Yeah.
I just sang it. I sang it better. You know?
But then there's a
And
depression that kind of
and
creeps in
now,
because
yeah.
of the time wasted. But think about like that was your way of practicing it kind of, but you're spending like 12 to 14 hours
Oh,
and that's where the depression
yeah,
sets in.
and I'm not saying that there weren't benefits from doing those things for hours and hours.
Hmm.
One learns by doing things. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the depression comes from
You
the
could have done
fact
it quicker.
that yeah, and and it was that
Could
that
you have I feel
time.
like that sometimes, like, I'll spend, like, 14 hours on an edit, and then, I'll go back and look at it and then have to redo it again because 'cause I'm doing an hour-long, episode on my other podcast, and the music and getting the sound right and doing everything and making it perfect, and I think
Well, I'll
that
tell you some
yeah.
real artistic. Go ahead. I don't want to stop
Well,
the
just
flow,
the end
girl.
of that is just that need for perfection costs a lot of hours, and sometimes it's not productive, and then I'll get depressed because I'm like, "I just spent 2 days, and I
Yeah.
can't get that time back, and it's not still not right."
And I got a better one for you. Here's some better, bigger artistic. I spent 2 days on the vocal that I could have re-recorded. Well, I spent two more days on the drum. I spent all these days on the song.
Yeah,
And then I finally decided, you know what? I just don't think that song is that very fucking good. And
right.
now is when that's when the real artistic
Oh, yeah.
depression hits,
Oh,
is
yeah,
when
if
you
you put
realize
in the
you've just
time.
invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
No, and
come
most
out
don't.
that like, I'll be okay if I spent 48 hours on something that came out good. Then I'll watch it over and over and over and over
Yeah.
until I'm sick of it and celebrate it. That feels good. If you can't have that celebration moment, that's what makes you depressed.
Oh, yeah, if you're not proud of what you did, or if
Right.
you feel like that was what you wanted to express, or if you're,
Right.
then yeah, it's gonna be depressing, and you're never gonna go back and listen to it ever again.
Well,
Or you might, but now.
here's another aspect. So with the Paula Montano video on our other podcast, The Nashville I Once Knew, um, I was proud of it, put it out, and then was second guessing it. And then then there was that doubt, and I'm like, oh my God, I put it up, and then it was not perfect. And Paula thinks she's like too much of her talking or whatever. And then I get a text from her. All my friends love it. Kelly Butler says, I loved it. You know,
Yeah.
of Kelly Butler guitar shout out. And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, Kelly Butler, somebody," and then you have other people and she's like, "All my friends are really loving this."
Oh,
And so
yeah,
then
everybody,
what
yeah.
happened? Nothing happened and I stopped being depressed about it.
Oh,
So
there you
what
go.
changed?
Well, I believe that
Feedback. And that is why
feedback
we do
and
this
yeah.
because we, as an artist, you need feedback. When I was in Nashville, I would get up on a stage, play my song, and everybody would go, "Oh my God, that was so good." And then they go home and write their song kind of inspired by it. And then you'd hear their song and go home and write your song inspired by their new song inspired by your song.
Oh, yeah. You had
And
good resonant loops and community, and even just like what they did in Nashville with the '80s rock WRVU thing,
yeah.
where they played a whole bunch of the songs
And then
and
when
brought
you
them back.
got that confirmation, that like people will say, "Oh no, 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 get that baby out of the trash and put some life into it. This is a hit song." You're like, "That old thing? No." I hate
Yeah.
that thing. I spent a million hours on it. It sucks. They're like, no, 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 no. Look, if you do this, 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 now you've got a thing. So we need feedback. If you don't want
Yeah.
artistic depression, now there's another thing. If I think something's good and then Steve says it sucks, that's a whole nother subject.
Oh, that's a whole nother Diary of Mad Songwriter
But you
podcast.
rarely do that. You know
Yeah,
what?
and again, that's those subjects are for not the how long are you at your
Well,
you don't
you know
wanna
what?
have to
Here's what
edit
I
it.
want to say
How
to
long
our audience. I want to say we want to
yes,
hear about
fast.
your artistic depression stories and how to prevent it. I'm going to tell you how one way I prevent it now, and Steve's going to help us out. Is we're going to tell you about the wagon wheel.
Oh, yeah.
It
You really
can
okay.
prevent autistic depression. Basically, you're in the center, the
Yes.
spokes are your projects, and then there's a ring around it that tells you when you're finished when you get to that end ring. And that's how your wheels roll. And
And they'll be able to find probably a whole episode devoted to how the wagon wheel works within the songwriting structures.
well, the
Yeah, we have
main
whole episodes of that one
That's
day.
true, but I'll leave you with this. The
Uh,
main
yeah,
focus is that when you are getting bunched up and depressed in one area, you just turn the dial in the center of the wheel to another project. And
yeah.
so that is one
Move to a
way.
different song. Move to a
Yes.
different song. If you're finding yourself getting sad about that song, go over there, pick something out old, get something out new, find one of those old
Or go clean
ideas,
your house, do something
or do
different.
something totally different and hum to yourself,
Yeah.
sing to yourself while you clean.
Just do
Do
something
something
that
different.
works for a minute. Get
Yeah,
away from the
chop up.
knot that you're trying to
Mhm.
untie
Yeah, just
and
get
go.
your
Yeah, start something new, start something fresh, go in a different direction. That's why we have a couple of different podcasts. That's why we're working on our music and our stories and all of it at the same time because we just rotate that dial. Now, it does take longer. You can't buckle down and focus on something. You have to, it makes it take longer. But over time, people go, "How did you do all that stuff?" And you're like, one spoke at a time.
one spoke at a time.
There you go. All right, we definitely
Diary of
want
a
to
Mad
hear your
Songwriter.
stories. And we
Yeah,
just care
well,
about
yeah.
you songwriters out there and people that care about those types of things, how to be artistic in this world of technical purgatory. And we will leave you with that. Bye, everybody.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.